That's good.
You're kind of almost straight. Do you think
So now I'm worried about the... No, I'm worried. Now I'm concerned.
Straight.
Not concerned. In our photography studio, it's important to look for challenges and inspiration. Inspiration can come from all different sources, all different sorts of mediums, and challenges are little things that you can set either during a shoot or outside of a shoot to expand your knowledge and expand your learning and expand your creativity. Recently we shot the professional wrestler Hyan, who came all the way from the United States of America to come and have a photo shoot at our studio here. And midway through the session we caught eye of the new artwork for Kylie Minogues' new album. It's a really colourful album cover with a really strong portrait on the front, and I wanted to see if we could recreate that in studio, in camera. So not relying on digital elements, not relying on digital post-processing, but relying on all of the elements that we had in studio to see if we could recreate the image that's on the new album cover with the model that we had in studio. Working out how famous portraits have been shot is one of my favourite things to do. I enjoy the problem solving, I enjoy the puzzle element of it, I enjoy looking at highlights and shadows and catchlights and things to try and work out what modifiers we used and what focal lengths or lenses we used and all those kinds of things to try and get to the final image. And we're going to see how we got on with that one right now. I used to get magazines, and occasionally there'd be an article in like Amateur Photographer about how to do a famous portrait from the past, how to light it. And I think we're going to try and recreate it as best we can. I think I know how it's lit. I like this because it's like solving a puzzle, trying to work out how things have been lit. I think the hand superimposed in is number one, but we're going to try and do it in camera because I'm an in-camera artist. Looks like a single light on Kylie. If we go in close on the eye's got a square catch light in it at about 3 o'clock, actually just above, between sort of 2 and 3 o'clock, which means that it's not as high as I would normally shoot. My first thought was that it was like a beauty light coming straight down, but there's sort of more shadow down on this side, I suppose, of the face, and more shadow down on this side of the nose, and a slight reflection here on this side of the nose for the highlights, and the spot of the spotlight is there. So it is a light. It's like maybe I'm going to put maybe a square softbox up on my shoulder here, with a green gel in it, obviously. We've got sort of reasonably complementary colours working in here. To achieve this background, I'm going to bare bulb an orange gel onto a white background that's quite close to the subject because there's flare coming through here. If we overexpose it slightly, what happens is, and if it's very close to the background, and if the model's very close to the background, what we should get is a white hot spot that then goes off into the orange that you would achieve if you were trying to achieve a flat gel across a background. So if I wanted that gel to be flat, I'd have the light quite far away, but I think I'm going to move the light quite close. Perfect portrait to do in a small studio, in a small space. We're going to do it with Hyan. She's over here, but she's come to us all the way from Houston in Texas, home of cows and oil. We're going to try and recreate the shot with her. Let's give it a go. Christmassy green, if that makes sense, or a bit like a fir tree, like that kind of green, I suppose, whereas this one's a bit more transparent. Put it in a square softbox and have it just up and over my shoulder about here, angled in very slightly. You come around here, you can see how close this is to the background. What's that, a metre away? Which means the fall off's going to be quite dramatic. But we should have like quite a hot white patch here going through to yellow, going through to orange at the top here. And if something isn't working, then just change it. But the main problem with this one, I think, is going to be keeping this green light off the background and not over bleaching it. That might mean bringing down the background light slightly in terms of power. We'll have a look at the lighting ratios as we go. 3, 2, and 1. I nearly forgot technical information. We're shooting on a Canon R6 24-105 lens, f4. Because we're working with quite strong colours, we're going to take a colour checker profile image first on a raw file so that we can calibrate our colours and also get most colours from the file. So be straight towards me, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, thank you. I'm going to make an executive decision as well, just to change this to a beauty dish. Because I think I'm going to have better control on the light, and it's going to give me more contrast in the shot. Not bad. Every shot is getting closer, so it's just like trying to solve a puzzle. I think the background light in that shot is angling down. So I think we need to put that background light on a boom arm, have it angling down from high on the background. So now I'm worried about the... No, I'm worried. Now I'm concerned... Not concerned. Now I'm interested on the focal length of the picture. I initially thought it was wide, but I think it's probably a little bit longer. So I'm going to change from my 24 to 105 and I'm going to go long. I'm going to go to a 70 to 200 lens and just see how that affects the close shape. But I think the lighting ratios are about right now, so now we can concentrate on the look, the finger placement, and all the finer details to make a good parody. Parody, Zoe, what do you think? Parody?
Not parody.
Pastiche.
Homage.
Homage. Homage. Nice one. Okay, I think we got it. Let's have a look. See what you think.
Oh, that's so cool.
Tiniest, oh my god, that's so cool. Let's have a look at the actual image. So there it is, there's the final image shot on the Canon EOS R6, taken on the 70 to 200 f2.8 lens at a focal length of 150mm, so quite long there, and shot at an ISO of 100 and an aperture of f10. We got fairly close in the end. The whole setup took around about 10 minutes to get to that final image. Most of this is done in camera. We've applied a tiny little bit of frequency separation to some of the skin tones afterwards, but other than that, that's pretty much the raw image that came out of camera. Really important to color calibrate beforehand to make sure that we're shooting true colors, and also important to make sure that if something isn't working, change it. Don't just keep trying to do the same thing. You have to change it. Look for alternates, look for different methods, different ratios, different colors, different distances to eventually get to your final image. Just a quick note at this point: if there is a famous photograph from the past that you would like to see us try and recreate in studio, drop it down in the comments below, drop a link to it, drop a description of it, and we might pick it and might be able to do it for a later video. So that's it, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, like and subscribe, tell other people about it. You can follow us online at Y2JimBob. It's Portrait of a Wrestler everywhere else.